I mean, we're looking at this through a gender lens, and I don't know if that, I think that's fair because I think that we're seeing a certain gender style here. I mean, in terms of the style of how women quit. I know it's something you've looked at in the corporate realm. I don't know about the political realm, but there do seem to be similarities between what I hear from Hillary Clinton, Nicola Sturgeon, Jacinda Ardern. I don't know if it's just about the personal or if it's something more that you've found.
Well, I think it's interesting because you and I were talking about how men will often say, I'm stepping down to spend more time with my family.
Finally.
And we're not hearing women say that. And I actually think if they were saying that, they'd get attacked even more. So in some ways, I think they're choosing the language that allows for less debate. Because I can't say how stressed or tired Nicola Sturgeon is. Only she can say that. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure political pundits will go after that. But I think if she were to say, I want to spend more time with my family, people could attack that and say, oh, see, women can't lead. They just want to spend time with their families. I mean, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, kind of no matter what you do. But I actually think, again, we're in a moment where mental health is a huge conversation. Capacity and burnout are huge topics in the political and corporate spaces. So when you're drawing on language that reflects that, I think it makes you a good leader, frankly.
How much is gender part of the debate right now? Let's come back to the U.S. We're seeing new candidates step up. Nikki Haley stepped up to announce that she's going to be trying to be the GOP candidate for the president. Do you feel like it's playing out differently now than it did even, say, when Hillary Clinton was running?
No.
Same different. Is it more exacerbated now?
Maybe I'm just not optimistic, but I think the 2016 election, the way we saw voters break, I still think we have a long way to go before voters see the two genders as equal, unfortunately.
And interestingly, neither of these, Jacinda Ardern's case, she's back to being an MP. Nicola Sturgeon, I'm not sure, but they don't necessarily disappear from the scene. They're just basically saying, I don't want the leadership role anymore.
Right. I think I saw something that said Nicola Sturgeon's going to be in politics through 2026, if my facts are correct there. So, but the spotlight isn't as harsh, right?
Yeah.
When you are the one at the lectern in the press conference, that's a different type of pressure than if you are part of a peer group. And it's lonely at the top, right?
No.
I can't blame her for, she had a good run. She had 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's good to normalize these different means of quitting. Right? I think it's good not to have the more time with family and to talk about some of the personal stresses of the job because I think they are under scrutiny.
I was talking with a source yesterday who said, this was just her personal opinion, but she believes that the capacity to make change in a role taps out after 8 to 10 years. After 8 to 10 years in the same job, her experience, she worked in city politics in New York City and is involved in some UN jobs. Based on what she has seen in her space, I want to be very clear, that's her unique view, but I think that was a really interesting comment. She really identified that 8 to 10 year span. Here in the States, we have term limits. Mm-hmm. So for president. Not for senators.
Not for senators, as we know.
Or Supreme Court justices. But I think there's something to that. And I don't necessarily, again, know everything that's on Nicola Sturgeon's mind. But 8 years to me feels like a complete run. And I think it's good to normalize that versus staying well past the point of effectiveness.
Yeah.